I came across a video of somebody who was $420,000 in debt. I know you're probably nosy and thinking, what is going on? Well, don't worry. We're going to find out together because I don't know.
Y'all, my name's Emily, and I'm coming on here because I'm going to be documenting my debt payoff plan. I am currently $420,000 in debt. It's a pretty gnarly number.
Yeah.
Half of that number is my mortgage, so I promise I'm not super irresponsible. Still a little irresponsible, but not super. About a quarter of that is my student loans. About 10% of that is a car payment that I just bought. And the remainder is just general spending like Affirm payments and a credit card.
I'm hoping she's going to break it down because after you take out her mortgage payment that she said was about $200,000, you're still $200,000 left.
I'm going to be using the avalanche debt payoff method.
I think she said a quarter student loans, so that's $100K. And then another 10% is car note. So it's really $90K, but that's a lot.
Yeah, that's 100,000.
Oh my, oof.
Yeah, in just debt of credit card and
And not
stuff.
bills. Like you still have bills.
Right.
You still have rent. Well, mortgage. Nah, you still have mortgage payments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
yeah.
still have bills. Okay, let's play.
In order to pay that off, which is just starting with the highest interest loan and working my way down. I'm going to be documenting it here on TikTok to hold myself accountable.
Somebody commented, including the mortgage is silly. And personally, I don't consider mortgage as a bad debt, but even still, having $200,000 left over after all of that, if it's consumer debt, that's a little bit different.
Today is payday. That means I get to pay off a little bit more debt. I am Emily, and I'm a 28-year-old trying to pay off her debt. Today is day one of my debt payoff journey that I am documenting online. My last video, I stated that I had $420,000 of debt. After applying $722.97 of payments, I'm at a beautiful $419, $484, and 17 cents. I technically paid about $1,000, but I accrued interest from last month. You can start to take a look at my spreadsheet here. My initial debt balance was much higher. My current balance is $419, as previously mentioned, and I pay off about $4,629.89 each month.
Miss Emily is making some good money because she's able to pay $4,629 each month. This isn't her living expenses, y'all. So she has some good income coming from somewhere.
I honestly didn't realize how many people would relate to the situation I'm in. I suspected that some people would leave hateful comments about the amount of debt that I'm in, but I was shocked, honestly, at how much positivity and support there was. So I just want to come out here and say thanks.
She's what?
I'm a bit confused. I thought she said she's only applying $700. Where did Simone get 4K? And
Right.
also, I need her to add the interest payment to the spreadsheet. I'm trying to figure out how much, because she said it's accruing interest, and so it's only gonna be reduced by a little bit. She's just going to.
This is the accountant in you, okay? You all the
No, because how is that gonna work?
But she does not have all the information she need on there. She didn't need to make a spreadsheet. She could have just used what they give her.
And well, no, because I think she's doing it. It's across different statements, right? So like, portion is mortgage, portion is student loan. She's just taking.
Yeah, she need to section them out though, but
she should. I think she should also, by her method of applying to the highest interest bearing.
She'll only pay off the house.
You said she what?
I said she will only pay off the house.
Well, she just
only paying the highest interest first and paying $4,000.
Oh, the house is probably
the highest interest one. Then, so she only paying on that, and credit cards and everything accruing. She got to pay on multiple. She shouldn't do it like that.
I think that's why Simone said 4,000, because it's probably 3,200 is going to, or 3,300 is going to mortgage,
and the rest
700. Oh no, baby! And I don't like the like mortgage not being bad debt. You still have to pay that off.
You still have to pay it off, but people think like
no,
you live in there, you own it, it's an asset, you could sell it after.
So the bank owns it.
Your
You
bank does own it. It's true. But people like this is the
That makes
thing.
sense.
I think, huh?
Yeah, I get where they're going with it, but
Yes.
it's you don't own it.
Yeah, and I think that concept of like a house is an asset, like it's an amazing thing, was back in the day when a house really was an asset. Like, real estate now.
Yeah.
If I have my house and I buy another property, I could rent it out, and because the rent I could charge would be more than the interest payment, I will get extra money. So in that case, it really is an asset. But now houses aren't always an asset because the amount that you could rent it for is not even going to make the payment for the mortgage. So when people say things like good debt and bad debt, I am hesitant to take that advice now because mortgage and houses and assets is not always an asset. Like you try to sell that thing, you're under the water because your interest rate's so high.
And maybe you haven't built enough equity, so you're probably paying more for the house. So you haven't. Ooh.
Yeah, so that I think that's a old school thinking of like, oh yeah, it's good that not right now. If she tried to sell that, could she make the amount that she even owes on the loan? Maybe not. So,
I
but
hope so.
let's see.
Let's see.
Next, I want to report on day 3 of my debt payoff journey. So this week alone, I've made some changes to my debt payoff plan. For one, I'm not going to be including my mortgage in every calculation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out up at the top here what my starting point was, which was the $420,000 when I started this video series. My starting point, not including my mortgage, would be $151,917.92.
I was close.
This number does include my student loans, my home equity line of credit, my car payment, and any consumer debt that I have.
Oh, so she took out a HELOC on her home. Now, I know a lot of people are against HELOCs, but some people take them out for good reasons, like businesses or whatever the case may be. I don't know if she's going to get into that, but I hope she didn't take it out just to go spend it on like consumer debt type of stuff, like.
So wait, what's the HELOC? I don't know what that is.
When you've built enough equity on your home, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, you can basically borrow against your house.
Okay.
Because the rate that you're paying on the loan is lower than the rate that you're making on your home because you've already gotten the equity back. Kind of like if you were borrowing against your securities portfolio, like your stock portfolio.
Okay.
But yeah, I hope she didn't take it out to spend it on clothes. That would be insane.
Clothes or just depreciating assets.
This week, I took action by doing a balance transfer to a credit card that offers 0% interest. And so I am going to save myself some money, hopefully, on the interest rate. I made an additional $750 payment towards that credit card as well and managed to get the credit card that I showed y'all previously below the $6,000 mark. I also contributed to my mortgage, my typical payment, which, let's see, $1,500 or $1,584.68. I also made one car payment, so that's a total of $606.55. I contributed a total of $527.50 to my student loans, which is about $150 over what the minimum recommended amount for my student loans is. And I made payments on both the Affirm accounts that I have. So with all of that added up.
You want to hear the other part?
I just wanted to say, baby, I need this on a spreadsheet. Please don't be putting it out. I need it visually. I'm getting lost. Plus, I still want to know what she spent this money on.
I know.
Getting into the paying down. What did you buy?
Well, clearly,
Up, and I'm just looking at my spread.
A new car. Hold on.
Nah, there's still
here. I am down to $418,697.69, including my mortgage. And for those of you who don't like that calculation, I am down to $150,735.56 without my mortgage.
I like when people post these sort of videos because I think it encourages a lot of other people to do the same thing. A lot of people are in such large amounts of debt that they just don't see any hope, but it has to start somewhere. And even if it starts with you getting inspired by somebody else who's doing it, so you can see them doing the work, so then you can believe in yourself.
Yeah, I agree with her there. Like, it does help other people. And I think too, some people just not knowledgeable with all the things that they could do to help their debt, like transferring your balance to
0% interest. Yeah.
yeah, she should have said what card that was, honestly.
Yeah, because someone wants to know.
Yeah.
And also,
Mm.
I just realized this is day by day. Where's she getting the money to pay? Like, is it because she's getting paid daily? I know I'm pocket watching, but it's just because I'm thinking, why not just pay it at once versus why are you paying day by day? Like, why are you paying $700 a day instead of just?
I mean, $700 a day is good too.
No, it's great, but it's like, why? Just pay. If you have 2,100, why am I waiting until day 3 to get to 2,100 to do it today?
Yeah.
So maybe she gets paid day by day or something, because
Yeah.
that I'm also not trying to traumatize myself every day. I'm looking at this damn balance paying $700. Like, she telling us she started at 420. Girl, you're at 418.
I know.
That's discouraging. I would rather do 5K a month
Right.
than 700 a day. Oof. But I
But
guess
you
there
know,
wouldn't be TikTok
some of these
content.
loans, especially like your mortgage, that accrue interest and every day anyway, any payment you make on them is helpful towards the balance in the long term.
But
And
remember,
I think
this is excluding mortgage. She took it out. Yeah.
there was something else she said. Forgot. Okay.
That's a step 2, in my opinion. A win is a win. She's showing y'all she was able to pay $7,849. The way I see it is, if she can do it, why can't anybody else? Granted, I understand that people have different levels of income, but I'm just saying the action behind it.
For context, I did start my debt payoff journey before I started documenting it at $453,084.90. And so I have paid down officially $34,387.21, including my mortgage payments.
Wow.
If I do not include my mortgage in this calculation, I have paid down $7,849.34 of debt payoff. I started this debt payoff journey about 6 months ago, so I would say that's pretty good, all things considered. Hello.
30K in how many months?
But it's mortgage, right? So think of your rent in 6 months.
Yeah. Okay.
And because only 7K is not towards mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still good though.
Very good.
Okay, let me play the rest.
Today is payday. Excuse the bags under my eyes. I am exhausted. Let's do a rundown of everything that I paid today after receiving my paycheck. So as of today, I have $2,175.99 available to go towards debt payoff. This is going to piss people off, but this also includes my mortgage. You can see how I'm going to break it out into different accounts right here. I'm going to put $527.72 towards student loans, $606.55 towards the car.
That's what I was thinking during the last video. I was like, is she really paying $600 for her car payment? And she is. And again, y'all know me. I'm always curious to know, what type of car is it? Last time it was a Ford Bronco that young lady had. $600, that's not including the insurance. Is it? SYMONE. Trying to...
Wait, so that means, so what I don't, maybe I need to play it. She partially paying off each thing. Oh, but she not paying it off when it's due. Because I'm thinking, okay, if you only have $2,000 and 15 going towards your mortgage, 15 is probably the monthly mortgage payment, but since she paying it random days throughout the month, she just contributing. Okay, that's actually a good idea too, because of the especially for your mortgage, because it accrues interest every day. So even if you pay multiple times a month, it helps bring down the balance. Now I don't know how that works with credit cards. I believe it should be the same, right? Like you pay off partially. It doesn't. How does those work?
You don't accrue interest daily.
You
On your
don't.
card.
It's monthly. On the
Yeah,
balance.
your statement balance. Yeah, your statement balance is what you're paying interest on if you don't clear it. So it just depends on that day. Whatever that day is, that could be in the middle of the month. So if your statement balance is ending 13th, you might need to pay by the 5th of the next month So you'll pay on that day, not necessarily like at the end of the month or anything like that. But it's not accruing unless it's not accruing unless you don't pay your entire
Yes,
$1,000.
right. So if you don't pay a current balance and it is accruing interest, is it accruing it daily?
They'll slap it on your statement one time. They're not doing interest
Okay, so
payments daily.
okay. So
Mm-mm.
then that one, the timing doesn't really help, right?
No, that's why I was asking. Like, what's the point?
Okay.
And I commend her for sharing this information, but I just think for the younger people or just anybody in general, y'all, the car notes they're the one thing that just do it for many people. Yeah, she has.
What do you think about that? Like people buying these expensive cars, having a $600 car payment.
Yeah.
Like
No.
if you were to live in Texas, because New York is different. You're
No,
traveling.
I lived in Texas. I had a car, remember?
I know, but would you buy a nice, fancy, a little Audi, a little, I don't know what.
My favorite thing after I left Texas was the fact that I don't have any outstanding like loan or whatever. That'll change if I ever buy a house, but people in New York, it's never advantageous.
Right, it's different there, yeah.
Right, but I don't want to have anything that I have to pay or else. My car note used to be $150.
Right.
When I was in Texas. I'd be like, okay, that's manageable because if anything ever happened and I need an emergency fund, only 150 of it is towards the car.
Right.
But now I have like a whole 600. Then insurance. So insurance, how much is insurance typically? Like 150?
Well, I think it's more than that. Might be like
$200? So 800 on a car.
Let's say 250. I'm not sure because it depends on if you have like full coverage
Accidents.
or
liability.
depends on which company you go with. Like, are you reputable like Geico or are you El Muchacho and you're paying for those other ones just be like super cheap. And God forbid you get in an accident, they may not answer you.
No, and they're not paying for anything. It's just for you to not get in trouble with the police if they stop.
Right.
No, but I think, it's too much.
Six is a lot. I agree.
No, plus the 250.
Right.
850. That's someone's rent in Texas.
Yeah.
They might be living on the outskirts, but that's somebody's rent.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
It's
yeah.
So my car is paid off. I don't have a balance on it, and I just reached the point in my car where things starting to like I need to replace things. My car not giving trouble.
Okay.
Replace things, and then once you're replacing things, then the other issues start coming up. So literally this week I had a $650 bill, but this was a cheap version. Like I got somebody to help me do this. This is somebody who's a mechanic who helping me do it because what I got quoted was $1,000, but it was to change all of the things on my wheels, like the drums, the skirt, I don't know whatever else. And I had never changed that since I got the car. So
fair enough. So it's probably like a one-time expense for a few years anyway.
Right. But I'm like, damn, if my car start giving trouble, am I going to do a car? And I'm like, but I do want a good car because I went cheap. Not the car. The car was, I don't know, maybe 20,000 or whatever. But the
college cars, everyone soft lanes. Every single person.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only gonna get a new car because those used cars, and maybe they're better used cars now. But everybody, yo, can I get a ride? Yo, my alternator. I said, I don't even want to know what an alternator is. I PTSD if I hear the word alternator. Why that? Oh, radiator.
But I don't know. Sometimes I think like if I was to get a car, my next car, I would want it to be a little nice because things like
Not $600 nice with the 250
maybe
insurance.
not 600 is a lot. 600 is a lot. But I don't know if with the price of cars, like 600 is an average car now.
Which is the
I have
problem.
no idea.
And I would want a nice car. That's why I moved back to Texas, because I'm gonna be like, no, the responsible thing
Make
is
that 650.
no.
Okay, let's see the rest.
There's a lot of other things that we can see. The Cardinals probably like the least of her concern, but they're just such a financial trap for so many people. I can't stress it enough. And it's always like a car note that's between $400 to $600. I just really wish this wasn't the case for most people.
$775.09 towards my mortgage. That only accounts for part of the payment. And then $61.07 for one of the Affirm payments, and the remaining amount of...
Wait, by the way, this Affirm thing, that's like Klarna.
Yeah, and Afterpay.
Yeah. Okay, so I hearing about that now, that people are racking up, because it just be like, oh, only $3 a month if you do this thing using Klarna, Affirm.
And I
And
think
people are racking up so much, they like 50, 60K.
but I think the firm has interest. The others, I think, don't. Yeah, the interest.
Hello, if you cannot pay the full Beyonce ticket, do not be putting it on Klarna. Don't do it. Not Klarna. Come on.
Put it on Klarna with no interest, but don't put it on a firm with interest.
Okay, you're right. Klarna with no interest. All right, fine.
Yes.
But okay, wait. But it need to be that is your one thing on there, not your Beyonce ticket, your Usher ticket, your flight to wherever I don't know, what's the other thing people doing that all happening at the same time? I don't know. Your Shein balance, like, come on, you can't be putting every...
Having a Shein balance, first of all, is insane.
But I'm saying, like, if you put in all these things on these payment stuff, even if it's not accruing interest, it shouldn't get up to the point where it's $50,000.
Yeah, 50,000 is... Yeah, I don't know what I'm buying, but probably people are buying furniture. We're gonna cover another video where I think it's just on Affirm and Klarna. So we'll deep dive and we'll see what some of those people were spending on, but it's actually
furniture.
It's furniture and flights.
Oh, flights. Okay.
So y'all could be sitting in business. I'm gonna be in economy in the exit row, baby.
Hello. Hello. Are you willing to help people if we well, actually no, that's actually a real thing though. So because if you go in the in the row with the extra leg room, they ask you like, and you have to say a verbal yes. But if planes flipping upside down these days,
what I'm gonna do? Flip it up back over the other side? We both gonna die. I can't do anything, so I'm gonna sit in the exit row and act like, yeah, I'm gonna absolutely flip the plane back over.
Oh God.
Yeah, like,
I don't know how I feel about flights on there, because that's easy to rack up.
That's too easy to rack up.
Yeah, one minimum is $500-$600. Like, it's international at least.
And I
would travel 3-4 times a year.
No, I went home. Zimbabwe is far. That is not 600. That's not less than 1,000.
Oh yeah, because Zimbabwe flights, that's thousands. That's one of that is $500-$600.
The economy premium was like 22 in the 2000s, and I was like, let me check how much business is just one time, because it's a long flight. It was a long flight, 20 something hours in total, even though I was stopping in Qatar. It was 10 grand one way.
One way? And you put that on a Klarna? Wow.
I couldn't even, if I had the money, I need to have a lot of money for me to be spending $20,000 on a flight.
Yeah. And that's just the flight. That's not where you're eating. That's not where you're eating. That's not what you're carrying back for whoever there. Yeah. I don't know what do you think is like the top thing people need to know about managing their debt? Like, what's one thing you tell them to be like, y'all, if you're trying to manage your debt, this is what you should do?
I think exactly what she's doing, which is paying a little bit at a time. Yeah, I was like, I'm not mocking that she's paying day by day. It's just not making sense to me, and I wouldn't want to continue to see that on a day to day. I think it's
You're talking about that from an emotional perspective.
no, but it's discouraging. Finances are emotional. It's discouraging for me to continue to see that I have $400,000 that I need to pay, and thank God I paid yesterday. And now I have 418 from 419. I don't need to do that every single day. For the house thing, the way you explained with the accrued interest makes total sense. But if you're getting the money first and 15th, what's the point of getting it on the first and paying little tidbits until the 15th than to just pay it here? So I don't get that piece either. But I think what she's doing is my biggest advice, which is whatever you have, just start, because you need to build the habit. And I say the same thing about investments as well. Just start. Oh, I don't have enough to invest. Do $10, bro. $10, because then later you're gonna be like, you know what? I have an extra. I could do 20 today, and then next, oh, I could do 500, and eventually get up to like 70%. Like, but if you don't start, you'll never have enough money.
Yeah, and interest is accruing every day.
Ugh.
Or, every time you just don't pay it off, like when you skip a month and you skip a month and you skip a month, it's interest. So I agree with you. Just start, no matter how big or how small,
And we might have to stop here because your girl has somewhere to go. So we might come back and finish the video, or maybe do a firm.
Yeah, we should do a film for sure. We should.
Yeah, but I think for sure I wish, and then maybe I'll see if I can find it. I need to know what she spent the money on. I want this, but I need to know, what did you buy?
$100,000.
I need to know.
I mean, that will just stress me out just spending that money. I mean, I will be stressed just spending that money.
Now, if she bought the house and bought furniture for the house,
$100K in furniture?
No, part of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Part of it being furniture, I could see that. Furniture's expensive, especially if you're furnishing an entire house at once, which people love to do. I'm like, you don't need the spare bedroom, all spare bedrooms to be furnished. Like, you could do it bit by bit.
You could.
Hey, y'all's business, not mine. But I desperately need to know. So I'm gonna be looking, and also these spreadsheets, baby, I need them to be a little bigger because I need to see all.
That's only because you are an accountant and you look at spreadsheets, so like, bro, first of all, yeah.
Did she calculate 365 days or 360 days on the interest? Nah, but yeah, we'll come back and we'll see if we can find a video on what she spent. But for now, if you have debt out there, guys, just because you're not, oh, I'm just gonna YOLO. They're gonna garnish something at some point.
And you don't want it to be when you're old and you're retiring and you already have to live on less income.
Because then you're not retired.
Right. Remember what I said last time?
And we don't need to hear it again.
It's true.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.